Hi guys, it's Chris with City Girl Homestead, and time to start prepping for supper. If you remember right, got a big ham that came in a box right after Christmas, and I got it for less than $5. So I've gotten a special request, and I want to try that out, but we don't want a whole ham. So I'm going to cut these pieces off of here and put them in a bowl. I am going to cook the whole thing, but not in one dish. And I was trying to think of what else I wanted to say. Yeah, so I'm going to get this all cut up. I am going to save the bone. But we're going to do a special request for this. And, oh, I know what it was. With the new freezer, I couldn't fit this in one of the drawers. So that's another reason we kind of got to get it used up. So I had Tom put it in the refrigerator and start to thaw it out. So tonight's dinner is going to be ham, but there'll be a twist. I'll see you then. I can't believe how much meat I got off of that. Isn't that nice? Then I'm going to save the ham bone, and I'm also going to save those real fatty pieces that are up next to that bone that you really don't want into your meal. I'm going to save those in quart bags as well. So most of you can guess what's going to happen next week, right? Alright, so I for real will be back when we start dinner. So I know it's going to be just a little bit noisy because I've got my canning video going today at the same time. But I actually looked up online and I can refreeze the spiral ham. I don't have to cook it. So I got 3 meals of the nice big slices. But then, you know, there's always those in-between pieces or whatever. So, which works out great for what I'm doing tonight. So I'm taking those pieces and just chopping them up a little bit so they're more in bite-sized form. So it'll work out perfectly for tonight's dinner. So I got out of that spiral ham 3 future meals, and tonight's meal, and then something else I'm going to do with the bones and that hard meat on the side, so that absolutely nothing will have gone to waste. And for less than $5, we're going to have 4 meals plus something else. So when you get a chance to get those bargains, make sure you do. You know what I mean? Grab them. If I would have had more room in my other freezer, they had 3. I would have gotten 3. Because I think they were $3.50, something like that. It wasn't very much. I'd have to go back and look in my video, but yeah. It was a really, really good deal. So look for those deals. Like today, I'm actually going to, after this is done canning, I'm going to go to the grocery store. At Apple Market, they have pork loins for $1.49 a pound. And I'm going to get a few of those and get them put in the freezer because that's been running $2.99 too. So it's like half price. And you can do a lot with it. You can make your own sausage, do pork chops, do the whole loin, whatever you want, so it has multi-purposes as well. So, I promise I'll come back now when it's dinner time. Hi guys, it's Chris with City Girl Homestead. Time for supper. So, you got to see me do a little bit of the prep earlier, and I ended up going to the store to get the pork loins. So I got 5 of them. And I spent, the cheapest one was $3.88. The most expensive was $4.26. So I got 5 pork loins for $20.53. So, I think I did a great deal. Alright, so for tonight's supper, it's super, super, super easy. Hopefully I can get to my 8 minutes. Over in that pan, I have some potatoes being boiled. They're not peeled because you know how I am with that. I took a pound of baby carrots and I steamed them for 5 minutes. Because if you guys remember right, Tom does not like mushy carrots. He likes a little bit of a bite to them, and I do too, so that's fine. So I've got 3/4 of a stick of butter in there. And then I'm going to add a couple teaspoons of brown sugar. We're going to make these sweet today. Maybe just a little bit more. Alright. And then while the butter's melting, that'll finish cooking up the carrots too, by the way. And I'll get it mixed together once the butter's melted. So let's get that put on there on lower, medium. Now in this pan I've got just a tad bit of butter. Not a whole lot. Just enough so that it's not going to burn my meat. So what I'm doing is melting that butter. I'm a butter melting factory today. So while it's melting, I am going to use one of those pork loins. My recipes that I've had lined up for the last week, they haven't turned out because I keep getting something different and then making something with that. And I do want to make stuff with the things that I get from Bronson, the things that I buy to stock up on, the things that I can, whatever. So I want to incorporate that stuff too, because, especially with the canned stuff, because we're like can, and then we don't tell you anything to do with it. So we don't want that. You know, we want it to be where we can can things and use them up. So now I did tell you I got 3 bags, the bigger pieces that we can have for meals for my ham. So I think that was a great deal. So now I chopped up all the smaller ham into more like bite-sized pieces. And I know it's cooked. It is fully cooked. You know, it's a spiral ham. But I want it to get, we don't want that big piece of fat in there. We don't need that. I don't know about you guys, but I'm not into all that fat. Ugh. So, I'm going to start getting those mixed together. I think I might turn it down just a little bit more though. I don't think it needs to be that high. Alright, so what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to get that ham to kind of warmed up. If it chars a little bit, that's okay too. No problem. And there's no gravy, so it won't be that. Let me let this warm up a little bit, and then I'll show you what's next. Alright, so now the potatoes are coming to a boil. I put the carrots on and then put a lid so it can basically finish steaming them, so it doesn't use up all the butter and the brown sugar. It'll just kind of steam them done. Now this has cooked down a little bit, if you notice, which is a good thing. And I found a couple more big pieces of fat that I got rid of out of there. Now, the one big request was, I wonder what that pineapple jam would taste like on ham. So guess what we're going to do? We're going to pop that jar. You got to remember this is jam, so it's thicker. And I'm going to use that whole jar. I had 2 of the bigger jars, so that's what we're going to use. I used up the other one already. And this is one reason I wanted the butter in there, because it's thicker, and that way we can thin it down a little bit if we need to. And if it is too thick, we can always add a little bit of water to it. So I'm going to cover all that ham with that pineapple jam. You know, if this turns out really good, it really does open it up to a lot of the other jams and jellies that we make in all different kinds of flavors, that we could change our meat taste and use up some of those jams and jellies that we have. Because most of us canners, believe me, we have our shares of jams and jellies. Because that's something that's just very simple to make, and we've all got a bunch of it usually. So let me bring you down here. Doesn't that look good? I think it looks great. Let me just find a piece and then take a small bite of it and see what I think before it's heated all the way up. Gotta do that. Gotta do that. Hold on. So now I'm going to let that kind of just cook, and I got it on real low heat, and kind of just let it simmer and let all that taste get into that ham. I can tell you guys, it's going to be delicious. So, we can always take leftover ham that we have, because, you know, we always have ham left over from Thanksgiving and Christmas and all that good stuff. And potatoes, carrots, whatever you happen to want to add to it. Add some jam. I'm pretty excited because that does taste really good. I'm really curious as to once it gets, you know, melted and kind of incorporated into it, how much even better it's going to taste. So, I'm going to let that simmer, let my carrots simmer and kind of steam, and then let my potatoes get done, and then we'll come together and put a plate together. There, now all the plates are made. Tom's lunch is packed. Here's mine. That looked delicious. So let's try the ham now that it's been cooking in that for a while. You guys. That adds so much flavor, I can't even tell you. So let's try one of our carrots. So good. My son got me addicted to those at the buffet. So, Tom is on his way home, and I'll have him do a taste test for you too. And I'll be back. Well, hi, Tom. How are you?
I'm just dandy.
All right, so try the ham first.
Well, if I want to try the potatoes first.
I want you to try the ham so people can see what it tastes like.
I got pineapple left.
It's that pineapple jam.
Noticed that all day long, didn't I? Huh?
What do you think?
Well, good idea.
Now try your carrots because it's cooked in brown sugar and butter. And they're not mushy. Now you can try your potatoes.
Didn't have enough salt cream on it.
Lord, I put half a tub on there. Look at 3 of your favorite things: potatoes, ham, and carrots. You are so spoiled. And I got 3 other meals of that ham that I can do too. From that one, what did we pay for that? Was it $3.50 or $4.50 for that big old boxed ham? Was it $4.50? You were with us too.
$4.50, yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, $4.50 for 4 meals. What do you think, Jack?
That was very good.
Haha. Alrighty, we're gonna let him eat because obviously he ain't putting his fork down. So, you guys have a blessed night. Be a blessing, and goodbye, Tom.
Bye, Tom.
Bye, Jack.
Bye.
You guys have a fantastic night.